Welcome to the official Axanar Podcast. I am your host, Jefferson Kelley, along with Alec Peters. We've got a guest today, Dale Simpson. We're going to be talking about the Starfleet International. Right now, the first thing we'd like to do is talk to Alec about any updates with Axanar. So, Alec, give us some news on Axanar. Where are we at right now?
Right. So the question everyone always asks is, when's Axanar coming out? So if you haven't...
When is Axanar coming out?
If you haven't been paying attention to all our videos and our blogs and our emails and our updates to our Kickstarter and Indiegogo, if you've ignored all of that, the answer is it's coming late summer of this year. We're working on the details right now. It's possible it could slip a little because there's a big film festival in LA that we might be premiering at, which is like October/November. So that's possible. It all depends on how things work out with the VFX. Obviously, after 10 years, the most important thing is that we do it right. And as you know or don't know, we've wrapped principal photography, meaning all the actors are in the can, all the cinematography of 19 actors. Remember, Prelude had 6, now we have 19. So it's all in the can with some spectacular performances. CBS will hate us.
Yes, they will.
They will hate us because it is that good. And I know they don't want it to be any good. But listen, again, we're just here, Star Trek fans, trying to have fun. And that's what we're going to go out with a bang here. And everyone's going to be I think everyone's going to be really stupidly happy with what we wind up putting out. So we're in post-production, working with 2 different VFX teams. Right now, that's the priority. Mark hasn't even started working on sound design with Danny yet because they're on their own project, which is the Icarus maneuver, which we'll be releasing on the Sunday the 31st. We're going to be doing a world premiere of their video, which is an Axanar video featuring the USS Aries that Mark kind of pitched and piloted to its ultimate conclusion. So they've been working on that. So they really haven't been doing anything. So the next step is we got a simple color grade on it, I believe, on the initial stuff. And so it's all working. And we've got a teaser trailer that'll be out in about, I don't know, maybe 45 to 60 days that we're real excited about. So that's where we are with Axanar. So everyone stay tuned. And if you're not a member of our newsletter, go to our website, axanar.com, and sign up for the newsletter. But hopefully if you're listening to this podcast, you're already a signatory to that.
Pretty exciting. Looking forward to it. And I can't wait to see the trailer. I'm sure that's going to be good. And after having been on the set for the principal photography wrap and knowing who was there, not being able to say anything, let me just tell everyone watching or listening, you are going to be in for a treat. This is great. It was a lot of fun to watch the process and watch the performances. And I was blown away. So I'm sure all of you will be too.
Yeah. And it's just, look, it's a big love letter to Star Trek. You know, that's what it is. And we've already, as we've already announced, we're already working on an Orville fan film. With blessing of some higher ups at that organization, which we're really excited about. So it'll be a totally different experience for us and the fans being loved by the IP holders. So that'll be good. But so anyway, we're real excited. You know, this podcast, we're real excited to talk about Starfleet International, and which you're now a member of, and Dale and I run the chapter here. So take it away.
And thank you for suggesting that I join Starfleet International. I had been meaning to, looking into it, and glad to be part of the USS Aries Region 2. So we're going to have Dale Simpson tell us some more about the USS Aries Chapter of Starfleet International. Dale, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role? Now, you are the Chief Executive Officer of the Aries Chapter. Is that right?
Correct. I'm the executive officer, which would be like the vice president of the chapter. And Alec is the good-looking part of the duo. We keep him up there just to add some credibility and some legitimacy to the
I'm just a figurehead.
I do all the work behind the
Dale
scenes.
does all the work.
It's all me. Yeah. No, Alec is, he came to me and said, "Hey, I know this sounds crazy, but let's start a chapter." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was a member of the Republic, which was here in Atlanta. I was a member back in the 80s, I think like 88. And so there was a thriving community here in Atlanta for Dixie Trek and all the different cons that used to be here in Atlanta, other than the big one, the Dragon Con. So, it was a no-brainer. Let's start a chapter. And our members can be anyone at large. You don't even have to live in the area. We've got a lot of folks from overseas, Europe, some Eastern Bloc countries, South America. I mean, gosh, we're truly an international chapter. So, but yeah, it's just folks that enjoy Star Trek and want to participate. We have volunteers that work at the studio who are chapter members, and they've been integral in assembling sets, maintaining sets, working around the studio, helping Alec out. Do we have any members that were principal characters? I don't know.
No, I don't. Well, outside of me. But no, I guess we need to sign some people up. By the way, you should mention that Starfleet International is the largest Star Trek fan group in the world.
Absolutely.
It has 214 chapters, which are all named after ships all over the world. The largest chapter is in Ireland, I believe, and it has like 200 plus members. So, so it's a great, it is such an impressive fan club. It's obvious that they've been around forever. And now I was a member in the 80s as well when I was in law school. I signed up. That's how I met Alex Rosenzweig originally, I believe. But yeah, and that's how I met Steve Thomas. And so I still have my original newsletters. It was called Starfleet Communique from back in the 80s. And even back then it was pretty cool. But since then, they've developed so much content and so many courses. So their whole Starfleet Academy is this. Well, Dale, you tell them about Starfleet Academy.
So Starfleet Academy is run by an executive board. They're part of Starfleet International, but they have their own hierarchy and chain of command, and they have put together literally hundreds of courses, everything from Star Trek, the original series appreciation courses, Andorian, xenobiology, survival, Starfleet Marines, anything you can think of, they have courses for. And one of our members, Scott Vandermeulen, oh my gosh, before we were even chartered, we were just a shuttle. We weren't even an official chapter yet. We were on probation, where they get you set up to launch. And he had already done, I don't know, 20 or 30 courses.
Oh, geez.
And,
wow.
They have bridge officer courses. They've got commanding officer courses, just everything you can think of. So, yeah, he went way overboard. I think his total now is probably over 100 certificates. But
holy
for a while,
That's
we've had
a lot
guys
of certificates.
Yeah. And we've had folks, when we first started jump in, and it was like a race to see, these guys would be like, "Hey, I finished this," and it was really amazing. It was fun to see people jumping right in there and taking these courses and having fun with it. So basically anything you can think of, Federation history, Romulans, Klingons, anything that you might have an interest in, they have a course for you. And it's all online. Back when I joined initially in 1978 in Germany.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah. I was.
Wow.
I was in the military, and one of the guys, one of the sergeants that was my instructor when I was going through training there, was a member, and he signed me up, at large. And back then it was snail mail, so there was no computer to jump on. It was you get an envelope in the mail, and they gave you a little handbook and.
Yeah,
Get a mimeographed newsletter in the mail, But yeah, nowadays it's so good. Everything's online. You could join. It takes literally less than 5 minutes to sign up. It's $10 for an individual. You do PayPal online, and within 3 days we get you processed, and you start showing up on our crew roster.
It's $10 a year. $14 for you and your wife for significant. So
that's nothing.
Yeah,
very cheap. The sign-up process was easy.
Yeah, back in the day, it was actually $15 or $20 because they had to pay for postage and stuff to send you, and they had to, make the pamphlets and handouts, and the little member handbook was, So yeah, I mean, it was pricey. Now it's all digitized. You get everything online. There's great content. They have some of their own streaming stuff going on. You can be as involved as you wish.
Yeah, we should just point out that go to www.starfleetinternational.org. And in the upper right corner of that website, you'll see a join button. So join/renew. Just hit that, and a page will come up that you fill out your information. Choose USS Aries R2, because there's 3 different USS Aries. Mm-hmm. But we're USS Aries R2, and on the drop-down menu, it says what chapter. You're going to just scroll down, USS Aries R2. Pay your $10 or whatever. I know Crystal and I are both members, so it's $14. And boom, you're good to go. And then you'll be part of our chapter and get our chapter newsletter. And we're ramping up activities because this summer is the Starfleet National Conference, which is in Atlanta this year. And this national conference is something I knew about even back in the 80s, but I've been hearing about it forever because, it's an opportunity for everyone to get together and get dressed up in their Starfleet best and hang around with a bunch of Starfleet geeks, So we're taking.
When is that?
And that is August 3rd and 4th.
August 3rd and 4th.
Saturday, Sunday at the Doubletree Atlanta. Once you join, you'll be able to get information about that. We're putting information out about it as well. And what we're doing is we're going to host Axicon, which we did in 2018, 2019. We're going to do it again this year on August 2nd and at our studio, and kind of the 2nd and 3rd. But at the 2nd, it's on that Friday. We're going to be at the studio, open house. Everyone's going to be able to come in. The sets will all be both the bridge set and the captain's quarters will be set up, and you'll be able to take photos, and we'll just be giving out stuff left and right, and y'all have a good time. So we encourage everyone to join our chapter and then sign up for the conference, because it's like this low-cost Star Trek convention. I mean, I think it's $65 right now for the weekend, which is reasonable. And we're going to be giving out posters, and we're trying to have. I did a tally, and there are 7 of us actors in Atlanta. And I'm going to be contacting everyone this week and trying to put this on their weekend schedule so that they come on Saturday and sign autographs for everyone. And of the actors, besides Crystal and I, there's Rob Prougo, who played April. There's Jamie Rendell, who played Leonov. There's Raj Kala, who played Commodore Singh. There's Vince Canlis, who plays Tanaka. And there's Tina Ari, who plays Vulcan Captain Arev. That's 7. I think that's it. But 7 actors out of 19, that's not bad. That's, almost 40%. So we're going to try and get them all there signing autographs, which I think will be a blast for everyone.
I'm definitely planning on coming down for that, for the Axicon and the Starfleet International thing. And for the price of a foot-long sub at Subway, you can be a member of Starfleet International. So there's really no reason not to. And you can participate in some of these cool events. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think that'll be a lot of fun to come down there and be a part of that.
Yeah, we're really, we're big fans of Starfleet, and so we're really trying to, being that they are holding the conference in Atlanta this year, we're really trying to do what we can to beef it up. So that means signing up everyone in all our volunteers and signing up everyone in Atlanta, and then trying to convince them to go to the conference. And then we're going to be doing at least 2 panels on that Saturday. What I want to do is do a panel with all the actors. And then I also want to do, just a panel about Axanar and a little film festival, because we could show so much stuff. Axanar won't be ready by then. I mean, because that's the beginning of August. So I don't think it's going to be ready by then. But we'll certainly have a trailer by then, and we'll be showing it, and lots of free swag.
And you
like
still
to hear.
have some behind the scenes stuff that we could preview. So I know Jefferson there was busy with JP walking out. Now, I don't know if there was actually film in their cameras or if they were hooked up or not, but they looked like they were.
It looked like they were doing their job,
They
right?
were pointing something at people and supposedly recording. But there's a lot of stuff, and getting to come to the studio and see all the cool props and the set is well worth it. I showed a couple of pictures to friends of mine of the set with lit, with all the displays lit and the colors, and they were just like, "Oh man, you stepped through that door and you were on the bridge of a Federation starship."
Absolutely. It is crazy. We'll probably be doing something for the day. We'll probably have a small admission fee to the studio. It'll probably be like $5, or $10, but we'll probably, cut it in half for Starfleet members or something like that. We'll do something and give out free swag too, because if we're at the studio, there's plenty of swag at the studio, so we might as well be giving it out.
I've got my wireless microphone, my uniform, my selfie stick. I'm going to be finding little spots to film little scenes like I'm in Star Trek fan films.
There you go. Yeah, listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's the whole idea is let's open this up and make sure we're having a lot of fun and sharing the studio with everyone. Because, and I also want to put in a plug for our Patreon campaign. If you are so inclined, you want to join our Patreon campaign, we would really appreciate that. That's down below is patreon.com/Aries Studios. So if you join that, you support the studio, support us keeping the sets up and running and future projects as well. So go to patreon.com/Aries Studios and support Patreon is a monthly giving app, and people donate anywhere from $2 to $20 a person per month. And, we give away things and give you insights, give you videos that no one else gets. We try and do things like that. So, and we'll definitely be ramping that up this year as well. There you go.
That's not all. There's also Pet Fleet. So when you join Starfleet International, you can register your pets, and they get their own certificate with their names and their own SCC number, and they're registered which ship you belong to. They belong to that ship as well. So in our chapter, so each chapter has some kind of a charity that they work with, and ours is animal rescue. We do cats and dogs. So Alec calls me up and gets me up at ungodly hours of the morning to go meet him, and we take feral cats in to be spayed and neutered, and then they release them back into their habitat. But yeah, it's amazing. As a matter of fact, I've got a rescue dog, Trooper, who was a foster. He started off as a foster, and then within a day or so, he ended up as a
Dude, he didn't even last a day. You guys adopted him the next morning. It was so brutal. You took him home in the afternoon. And what happened was we were going to turn him into Gwinnett Animal Control because, some lady picked him up and like, we found this dog. I'm like, okay, we'll help you. We'll take him to Gwinnett Animal Control, which is really good. It's a no-kill shelter, basically. And so I met there, and they had closed down their intake for the day. So Dale was like, "Oh, we'll take him. We'll foster him tonight. We'll take him home." And the next day they were like, "Well, I guess we're keeping him."
Yeah, we got online and checked all the nearby counties and cities and towns nearby. He wasn't listed. No one was missing him. He had no chips, no identification. So we gave it about a week of trying to see if he had owners, and nobody was there. Nobody came forward. So he just became part of the family. Trooper T. Simpson, T for trouble, which is his middle name. That's his legal middle name. But I think the very first day the next day we took him to get checked at the vet for a chip, and he promptly threw up in my truck, and I said, "Hey, it's got to belong to us now."
Oh, wow. got a question that I read on this, but wanted to have you guys talk about it just to educate the listeners and the viewers, but how does the rank structure work in Starfleet International and with the chapter? What do members do in order to move up in ranks to get those promotions?
So there's obviously the Starfleet Academy courses that you can take. If you want to become a command staff, you have to take the OTS course. And if you're lieutenant commander, commander, or captain, and you hold a rank position in the command staff, then you have to complete the OTS. But for all the other members, we have up till age 18, we have cadets. So a younger member can join with approval of their parents and become a cadet. And then they can go up through the ranks. And then once they turn 18, and they can become a crewman, either enlisted crewman or go up through the ranks as an ensign. There's like 3 or 4 classes of ensign, and then lieutenant, and there's 3 or 4 classes. Unlike the Navy, they actually have delineated different rank levels for lieutenant and on up to commander, lieutenant commander, commander, and then captain. And we actually have a member of our chapter who's a friend of yours, Nefarious Ferret, Frank Parker. He was an admiral, and he transferred over to our chapter. So, the ranks are really easy. And if you're a member of our chapter and you assist as a volunteer or participate in Axicon, things like that, then that helps you move up in the rank structure. So we have quite a few people between taking courses and participating as a volunteer have risen up the ranks to lieutenant commander.
And that's a really nice way to do it, because you're not relying on, if you're someone who's wanting to join, you're not having to rely on taking courses and online classes. You can do that, which looks like a lot of fun, but it's not just that. There's the hands-on part, the volunteering part, the actually being there, present, and active that goes towards your rank as well. And I didn't know that there were delineations in there. So you don't go just from lieutenant to lieutenant commander. There's like lieutenant ranks 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And
Gotcha.
we've had several of our top donors join the chapter, and, hey, your donor, you're going to get, promoted up in rank. So, there's multiple ways that you can become a member of the chapter and move up in the rank structure. Again, you do as much as you want. No one's going to pressure you to take courses or do this or that. It's all voluntary. And if you do and you want to participate, hey, we've got a home for you, and we're going to move you right up the ranks.
And you can try to get 100 certificates like the other guy has. That's unbelievable.
Scott Vandermolen,
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's a little bit of an overachiever, but he's a lieutenant commander now, and he heads our communications department. And there's positions on the ship. You can pick whatever position you like. We've got people that want to be on the bridge staff. You've got people that want to be Starfleet Marines, guys that want to be, engineers. So whatever your interest is, you can tell us, hey, this is what I want to be slotted in the chapter. This is the fictional position I would like to occupy. And boom, no problem.
Are there any kind of regular things, whether it's meetings, events, outings, that USS Aries Region 2 does, like that you guys do together with any members that are able to attend, whether virtually or physically?
We've actually had some studio days where volunteers can come, chapter members come and help out at the studio. And we've done, 5 or 6 of those. They're welcome to help us out with the animal rescue. Alec does a live stream from time to time so that we can meet with our, online with our members and have discussions with them. So I'll let Alec explain more.
Yeah, no, part of it is, we started this chapter and then kind of got wrapped up in Axanar and getting these things done. And so we're really kind of trying to, right now reinvigorate the chapter, get everyone re-signed up who may have dropped off the rolls, and put in some more stuff. We, using both the release of Axanar and the national conference as springboards to really get this chapter thriving. and moving forward. So yeah, there will be live streams, which, we'll use on Zoom so we can get everyone involved. And, but as far as events go, yeah, it's really about having people come to the studio and hang out, and help, because you're really driving, you're really contributing to what makes our chapter special, which is we have the studio and the set. I mean, no other chapter has a full-size bridge set, so we want to encourage people to use it. And listen, anyone who's, who's a Star Trek fan, you don't even have to be a member of our chapter, can come and use our bridge for free. So we're big believers in sharing the wealth, so to speak. And we've had student films because we work with the Gwinnett County schools, and we've had 6 student films shot on our bridge. So that's it.
You had students coming in to film Star Trek films,
yes,
like Star Trek fan films. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting them young.
Yeah, no. Well, Dana Wagner's wife, it works at one of the schools and has a whole film studio there. So she encourages people to come out, and Pasha Sovereign, who was head of the video production curriculum, has been getting people to come. So yeah, so he's been the spearhead behind most of those films. So yeah, so it's been good. We even had Vince, our friend from North Carolina, bring some of his students down, and they did a project down here. So yeah, it's been lots of fun. And again, you want to make a fan film on a bridge, just let us know, and we'll figure out the details. But as I've told Dave and Ryan, that the current heads of Starfleet, I said, we've got this bridge set. You need to get all of your members to come by. I mean, how often do members of Starfleet get to both travel to a national convention and get to hang out on a real Starfleet bridge? It's truly, listen, I take it for granted, I'll be honest with you. It's just like, oh yeah, I got to go to the bridge again. The fact is, all right, I got to flip all the switches and light up. But once you walk through that door, it's pretty cool.
You're there.
150th time, it's pretty cool. The way it's lit up. Dana and his team and Alexander and everyone have done such a wonderful job making, turning that set into something really special.
Now, is it completely bring your own equipment kind of thing, or is there any equipment? Okay. All right.
Yeah, but here's the beauty of it. Like Josh Irwin is coming down in 2 weeks. And the beauty of it is these days, it's so easy because, first of all, lighting, you can pack the lighting for a full shoot in a suitcase.
Yep.
And everyone's, you can shoot everything on. Listen, you can shoot everything on your iPhone if you want, because it's shooting in 1080p. So,
yeah.
But Josh Irwin will come down, and he fits everything in his car, and with lots of extra room. So it's real easy these days. And what we like doing also is putting people together. So oh, you need someone to do this, we'll help find someone for that. For Josh's shoot in 2 weeks, I'm flying down Barry, who's our sound guy. So he's flying in from Virginia just to do, and he's flying in. All I had to do is pay for his plane ticket. So I paid the $250 for his plane ticket. He's got friends down here he stays with. He's got all his own equipment. He'll take care of it. So Josh has a sound guy he can rely on here, So we're all about helping everyone out. Mark did his fan film here. Josh is doing his. It's whoever, I told Frank Parker, I said, Frank, you need to come down and shoot down here. I said,
yeah. Because I know I definitely want to shoot down there, and it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, and why not? I keep trying to get Vance to come in and shoot something here. But we will. We'll, I'm looking forward to doing something, with all those guys. I told Josh, I said, Josh, you need to shoot we need to write a script, and you need to shoot a fan film that's Garth and Menard and Mason. I said
that would be an interesting crossover.
yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know? Let's do some. Let's have some fun. Enough of this serious Axanar shit.
And it sounds like you guys do have a lot of fun with the organization, and it's a fun thing. It's not like it's all work and business, and it's something that people really do enjoy being in.
Yeah. I even when I drag Dale's ass out of bed at 7:30 a.m. to go get Cat's tea and Arctic Gwinnett, right after our ritual is we drop off the cats and we go to Chick-fil-A and have a biscuit. Right. And we have a blast. So even something like that, it's like, everything we do needs to be, have an element of fun in it, because I'm not getting paid for cat rescue, and Dale certainly isn't. And so let's make some fun of it, and it's just like at the studio, like when we have a work day at the studio, it's like, we never want it to be a work day, right? We want to, hey, we're building a set, let's and all. So
And Dale, what question I've got for you is, what motivated you to want to not just be a member of a chapter, but to lead it? Was it something you had to be talked into? You woke up one day and just said, you know what, I want to be in charge of this thing?
No, Alec, he said, I'm going to start a chapter and I want you to help me out with it. So, yeah, since we're fairly local to each other, we could spend time. And I'm retired, so I got nothing better to do, keeps me off the streets, gives me something to do productive. But yeah, it was, and I'd had experience in Starfleet before, so it was a no-brainer. We both kind of understood what it took to get the chapter off, and our goal, which we achieved when we started the chapter, we were a centennial chapter, so that means we had 100 members on the day that we were commissioned. Actually, I think we had 103 on the day that we were commissioned.
You started with 100 members?
Yes. Yeah. We did. Blew Starfleet completely away. They're like, okay, most chapters are like, you have to have 10 members to be inactive, and a lot of chapters flirt with that figure, plus or minus,
right,
4 or 5 people. But they were like, you guys are insane. Nobody starts. Now, some have built up to 100. Some have had more than 100, but nobody starts with 100 members. So that's just how the reach, that Alec had. He was able to tap into his fan base and into friends, and that's what we are now. We're all just friends, family. All the fan film directors and all, we all know them, and they're friends of the chapter. So yeah, we're trying to get as many folks to join us back. A lot of people had a lapse because of COVID and things like that. But now we're trying to get everybody to come back home, and we want to build the chapter up again so we can do some fun stuff. I would kind of like to do maybe a bowl off between us and the Republic,
Forgive me for being on my phone here while we're doing a podcast. Literally, a cat rescue emergency just popped up, and there's a little 2-week-old kitten that needs to be bottle fed, and one of our volunteers needs a heating pad. So that's my life. If it's not Axanar, it's cat rescue or dog rescue. I spent all weekend transporting dogs for TLC Pet Rescue, which is the dog rescue we work with.
Well, we can wrap up here soon so that the animals can get the attention and care that they need. Could you estimate about how many members Ares Region 2 has?
Right now, I think we had some pending, so I think we're right around just below 30 right now, active members.
30 active. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll build that back up. I mean, being that we had 100, we're trying to get all the old members to sign back up again. And so I'd like to be back at 100 by summertime.
And this is a good time to do it because there's all this activity that's happening now with Axanar, with the film just around the corner, and you've got the animal rescue. So there's certainly a lot of activity to be happening there. And as we wrap up, Alec, like to ask you again, if you could, just for the cheap seats in the back, repeat, how do we keep up to date on Axanar, and when is the film going to come out?
So Axanar should be out this summer, late summer of 2024. And to stay up in touch, the best way to stay in touch with us is to sign up for the newsletter on the Axanar website. That is www.axanar.com. Just go to the top. It says newsletter. You can sign up right there. And if you're interested in joining the chapter of Starfleet, the USS Aries, go to sfi.org, Starfleet International, sfi.org. And then sign up there in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link. It says join/renew. So you're going to click on that and you're going to fill out all your information. You're going to choose USS Aries R2, which means Region 2, because there's 3 different USS Aries, and pay your $10 for the year, and you're good to go. And then you'll start. Then Dale will be reading you the riot act and getting you to do something so you can get promoted.
And one of the benefits is if you come to the studio, you get to use the crew restroom. You don't have to use the public restroom. You can use the crew restroom. So, yeah, we've got perks.
Which we call the officers' lounge.
Yeah.
The perks of membership.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, we'll sending out black cards soon.
Right, for the VIP lounge.
Yes, exactly.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking out the time for us to do this podcast this evening. A lot of great information on Axanar, and with the Starfleet International. Going to do this again soon. And you guys, and to anyone listening and watching, live long and prosper.